friendo, Steve here. Welcome back to the channel. It's that time again. We're going to tier rank a bunch of NXT champions. NXT TakeOver in your house just happened, so I figure what better time than to go ahead and tier rank all these NXT champions. But I figured I'd do this because, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, there isn't really that many NXT champions. I figured we'd take the NXT men's champions, the NXT women's champions, and we do them all in one big shot. So here we are. And once again, just like with the WWE Championship tier maker list that I put together, that I cobbled together, I did the same tiers as that one. So we've got Legendary is the top one. We've got True Main Eventer is the next one. Reliable Champion, Forgettable, and then Never Should Have Happened. Here's a spoiler alert. There are two of these champions that never should have happened. And from what I can tell, looking at this list preliminarily, only one forgettable champion. The rest are in that top three: Legendary, True Main Eventer, Reliable Champion. Those are all good tiers to be in, no matter who you are, because NXT has a pretty stellar history with their champions. Well, let's get started. Before we do me a favor, give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button so that we can keep on growing Wrestle Juice right here on the YouTube. Let's get into it. Obviously, number one, we're going to kick things off with, in my opinion, one of the greatest champions in the history of the business, and that's Asuka, moving immediately up to the legendary tier. Alongside her, we're going to go with, I think, yeah, this is confirmed, the longest reigning champion in NXT men's history, Adam Cole. There's your two legendary champions in order of greatness, Asuka and then Adam Cole. Will others be in that legendary status? I think the answer is probably yes. It's just a matter of who will be up there. Off the top of my head, another name that deserves to be up in the legendary status is going to be Mr. Finn Balor, the Demon himself. He's actually had two reigns that were pretty awesome. His original reign in 2015, which is a really long one. And then when Karrion Kross got injured more recently, Finn stepped up, won that title in a couple of great matches. They had like a fatal four-way and then a one-on-one with Adam Cole, which was really, really awesome stuff. So we're going to keep going here. We're just going to go down the list. I feel like there's a batch of guys and probably women. I'm sort of sorting this out in my head right now because I didn't think about any of this stuff before I dove into it, with the exception of, we'll just get these out of the way. All right. You want to know which two champions are going to be here in the never should have happened category? I'm going to catch some heat for this one. Actually, the first one, I think we can maybe all agree on this. Maybe not. Maybe drop me some comments, say, Steve, you're crazy. I'm going to say this is the only case. So there's a couple people on here who had multiple reigns, right? Finn's one of them, but he's in legendary status because both of his reigns are pretty cool. There's one person on here who actually had two reigns separated by quite a number of years. The first reign, true main event reign. That's going to be Charlotte up here as a true main eventer. Her second run never should have happened. She beat... Who she beat for this title? Did she beat Rhea Ripley? She beat Rhea Ripley for this title at WrestleMania. And then, when she dropped the title, she didn't even get pinned. She didn't give anybody the rub. And Rhea Ripley and her are still going at it on Raw these days. And I have doubts that Rhea Ripley's ever going to get that one-on-one win. Now, maybe this coming Sunday at Hell in a Cell. Maybe you're watching this after Hell in a Cell. Maybe you're saying, hey, dude, joke's on you. Rhea Ripley got that clean win over Charlotte. I'll believe it when I see it. Charlotte in 2020 never should have happened It was a ploy, I think, to boost ratings. Didn't seem to work. And nobody looked better because of it. Rhea Ripley, in fact, lost all of the steam she had beating Shayna Baszler. Speaking of which, this might be controversial. I don't think it is. Shayna Baszler, I'm going to put up there legendary. Not as far up as Asuka. She still had two really good reigns, one of which was really spectacular, really long. So we're going to put Shayna Baszler up there in the legendary status. I don't know of anybody else here who could lay claim to a legendary status run. Actually, no, that's not true. Where is he? Here he is. I'm going to say Shinsuke Nakamura is up there. And that's it. That's going to be it. I almost went with Joe. I'd put Joe up here as true main eventer ahead of Charlotte. I'd put Aleister Black as a true main eventer. I'd put, let's see here. Man, a lot of these would actually go under true main eventer. So we're going to get back to that in a second. Under reliable champion, I kind of hate to do this, but there's two names that probably shouldn't be there, but they're going to be there, and that's going to be Andrade. He's one of the best wrestlers ever to come through NXT. I just feel like they put the title on him, not because he had any crazy good stories or anything, not because he overwhelmingly was this star that would constantly, the title, he probably did main event every show he was on. But I feel like he was more of a reliable champion than somebody who really, really put a stamp on his run in NXT. So I'm going to put him in here as reliable champion. I'm going to put also as reliable champion. Oof. Yeah. Let's see here. True main eventer. I mean, you got to put Ciampa up here as well above Charlotte. Because he was really terrific. He was really great. He turned that title into something really cool. Let's see here. Who else do we have? True main eventer. I'm going to put Io Shirai up here. Yeah, it's kind of in Aleister Black territory. Probably above Aleister Black. I think she had a longer reign. All right, we'll get to the next one now. Never should have happened. I'm going to catch some shit for this one. I know it. But you guys know me. If you watch Going in Raw, you know what I've been saying. You know what I've been saying for a long time now. I'm sorry, but Karrion Kross is not NXT material. His reign in the first place should never have happened. His reign now should never be happening. He should not have that. Now, will that change? Probably not. Maybe it will. Probably not. Definitely not forgettable. Karrion Kross, many things forgettable. He's not one of those. Maybe he'd be a good WWE champion. Doesn't make a good NXT champion. I think Karrion Kross never should have been in NXT. He's a main roster guy through and through. Another reliable champion, albeit one who was there for a very long time, Bobby Roode. I just don't think he had some good matches in NXT as champion. He had a good run, but his entire story there was predicated on him selling tickets to CEOs. Remember that was his mission statement when he showed up? He was like, "Hey, look at this suit that I'm wearing. Look at all these people wearing merch shirts. This should be filled up with CEOs." And it never really happened. I don't even know how you do that. He's supposed to be a marketing guy? I don't get that. Moving on, more, let's see here. You know what? I feel like Drew McIntyre is kind of in that same space where I don't even know if he should have been in NXT in the first place. He's too much of a main roster guy. And because of that, I'm going to put him up here as a reliable champion. He was just sort of there, I think, I don't know. I don't even know why he was in NXT. To get used to the WWE way of doing things, maybe? I don't know. Another guy who I would consider a reliable champion as opposed to a true main eventer. This is going to kill people. I'm actually going to put him in second spot of reliable champion. John. I love Johnny Gargano. I love the way. The way is my favorite thing right now. But like, how many title defenses did he actually have that were successful as NXT champion? Let's take a look. Let's take a look here. NXT champion. Okay. Let's see here. Rematch. Okay. Yeah, I think he beat Adam Cole in that really, really great match. Let's see here. In a 2 out of 3 falls match, he won the NXT championship at TakeOver New York. Yeah, that was a good one. At the end of the show, wow, it was rated 5.5 stars. That was a killer match. He was attacked by the Undisputed Era. A rematch was scheduled where Gargano lost the title. So, like, he won this unsuccessful. So yeah, he just had it that one time, right? Isn't that way it happened? Yeah. So I mean, I'm sorry, John, but like, I don't even know if we could put you in reliable champ status just because like you're not forgettable, but you're reliable. They could put the title on him again, and he'd be very reliable. Maybe at that point, if they did it again, he'd be a true main eventer status. You got to give, even though this man only had the title for a very short period of time, the only reason that's true is because they called him up to main roster, and he had both titles. So at the very end of the true main eventer status, boom, Keith Lee right there. Above him, I'm going to put above Aleister Black, but I'll put her above Io Shirai. Sasha Banks. She helped make NXT what NXT is. And right next to her, we're going to put Bayley. But not, there we go. We're going to put Bayley up there. Terrific. Absolutely terrific. His title reign was not that long, but Kevin Owens definitely deserves to be a true main eventer. I'll put him right here above Keith Lee because who could forget Kevin Owens showing up on main roster confronting John Cena and saying NXT's title is top title. They don't do that anymore. They need to. They need to have more crossover. Sami Zayn, got to put him here at reliable champion. I know he was like the biggest deal in NXT when he won this, but then he immediately dropped it, like almost immediately, to Kevin Owens. So I'm going to put him here in the reliable champion category. There is one person in the remaining lot here who sadly, and I think of her as one of the best wrestlers on the planet today, but her actual NXT championship run included one title defense against Sonya Deville on TV back when Sonya Deville, I don't even know if she even Sonya Deville at the time, or was she still Daria Baronero? I don't know her real name. I think she was Sonya Deville, but she wasn't what she is today. And I hate to do this, but Ember Moon's NXT women's title run, they didn't even give her the Asuka rub. Instead of allowing Ember Moon to start a killer NXT women's championship run hot by beating Asuka, being the last person to send Asuka on her way, they had Asuka vacate the title. I don't know why they did that, because Ember Moon's terrific. But she had 2 title defenses, one against Sonya Deville, and one sort of gutsy kayfabe injury performance against Shayna Baszler. But then in the rematch, Shayna Baszler won. I just feel like Ember Moon's time as NXT champion, more of kind of a footnote than anything. She could have been a reliable champion, but they really didn't let her do that. Moving on here. Right now, I would say Raquel Gonzalez is a reliable champion, but it's still really soon. I feel like by the time all is said and done with her, she's going to be a true main eventer. But I feel like they need to get that Dakota Kai story going with her at some point, because I think that is going to be NXT's next Ciampa Gargano feud. That's how I feel about Raquel Gonzalez. I think she's terrific. But jury's still out on how all that's going to play out. She's very dominant. I'm going to put her higher up here. She's going to be above Bobby Roode. But right now, she's below Andrade and Gargano. Next, Rhea Ripley's title win over Shayna Baszler was a big, big deal. She fell off relatively quickly. So I'm going to put her in the reliable champion category along with Raquel Gonzalez. She could probably go ahead of Raquel Gonzalez or after Raquel Gonzalez. They're kind of tied. It doesn't really matter, to be honest with you. All right, now we're moving on to early NXT. I feel like all 5 of these characters, Big E. Okay, Seth Rollins, I mean, he was champion he was the first champion, which is a big deal. I'm going to put him at the end of the true main eventers just because he was the first one. And he's Seth Rollins. If he had stayed around NXT, he probably could have moved up to the legendary rankings, but it was pretty quick before he just went to the Shield, joined the Shield and left. Dropped it, of course, to Big E, who he had that 5 count thing going for him, but I kind of feel like he's just sort of in the reliable champion phase. Bo Dallas had that title for a very long time, but was he anything more really than a reliable champion? Neville, he's awesome. They did some great stuff. Again, did these guys elevate NXT to that next level? No, it took guys like Finn Balor and Shinsuke Nakamura to do that. And then, of course, you got Paige. I'll put her up here in the true main event category just because, again, she was the first NXT women's champion. So, you got to put her there, right? Don't you got to put her there? She really did actually change things quite a bit for the women's division in WWE. I feel like she was sort of a game changer. She was, up there with AJ Lee in terms of the perception of the wrestling in NXT sort of changing. And then you had people like the 4 Horsewomen come along and really, take that to the next level. So for that, I'll give Paige true main eventer status. And then that's it. There we go. What do you guys think about this tier list? Let me know in the comments below. What is the controversy here? Shinsuke Nakamura, I might actually, I'll keep him where he's at. Yeah, I'll move him ahead of Shayna. There we go. Shayna's at the end of Legendary. Samoa Joe's at the beginning and true main eventer. It's a nebulous thing. It's an abstract thing. This is what I think, though. I think this is a good list. Yeah. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Light up those comments. Be respectful, or you're going to get booted out of the bar. While you're at it, I got 2 other tier rank videos. I've got Bullet Club members. I've got NWO members. And I got 3 others. And I got WWE champions. I got all those. So I'm going to keep on doing these tier maker lists. Let me know what you want to see next. I saw a lot of people wanted to see wrestling titles, so I might do that. And then WCW champions, I might do that as well. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I appreciate it. Check out one of these other videos, and then you'll still see me. So I'm not gonna say goodbye. Just go ahead and check out these other videos. Let me get on my phone here. See what I got going on.